Hey, Valentina. Can you guys still see the chat? I got rid of the extra, like, chat box in the screen, but I don't know if it deletes it for you guys or if you can still see it. Because I've been using the YouTube recordings, which doesn't have the chat anyways. So I figured I'll free up some space in here if you're watching from your computer. So can you see it or no? Because I can put it back in if I need to. I just don't see what you guys see. My chat is different. Hey, Nikki. Oh, you know, I don't even know if it's streaming to YouTube. Let me check. Oh, my stomach just growled. How can I even tell? I don't think it is. I can see it, but I don't know how it looks on the phone. I think if you're on the phone, it does still show. I'm not sure. I liked to have it up here because it recorded it, but it doesn't really matter if it doesn't record it anyways. Can you guys see if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on live right now? I don't think I am. Oh, I can check actually. I like to have it going because it just automatically uploads it after. It's so much nicer. I don't know if it's working. Connecting to stream. Okay. I don't know if it's working. No chat coming on phone. Okay. I'm definitely on TikTok. Thank you. Yeah. I am also trying to stream to YouTube at the same time, which was working easily last time, but I don't know. I mean, I can just not do it today if it's gonna, like, I don't wanna figure that out. I'll just click on settings for a second. Stream. No, it says YouTube. I don't know. Anyways, maybe, hold on, maybe if I do it like this, I'm gonna stop and start again. I don't know. I'm not gonna waste time on it though. I am gonna add the chat back in then. You can see when I type obviously, but not on the screen. Okay. 1 second, Pat. I will fill you in when I figure out what's going on here. I'm gonna make myself a little bit smaller. And then add in, oh god, they change everything on the TikTok streaming. Oh my god, I don't even know where the thing is. Okay, here. Add chat. Okay, but why isn't it doing anything? I am live on YouTube? Okay, cool. That was just me. Okay, so it is working. So now the chat will be in the corner. Sorry, technical difficulties. I swear every time I log on to the TikTok studio where I stream from, it's a different setup. Like they update something, change something, but it's not showing up for you on YouTube. How strange. I did it like not in the same order as I usually do, and I think it messed it up. But I'm just gonna leave it. And if it works, it works. And if not, at least TikTok does record it, so I'll have it up there. And then I'll figure it out for next time, but man, it's just like too many things at once. But I have enjoyed not having to download and re-upload all of the big files, so it's not showing up for you on YouTube either. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna just let it be for today. Okay, so Pat asked, did we miss anything from last week? Anything big? They played a lot of Flinch, that card game. They've been doing that a lot. Ralph is still at school, at college. Anything, I don't remember anything big that happened. I'm really bad lately with, like, remembering. And plus, we had our Diary Detectives, like, our Patreon meeting yesterday, so we were talking about a totally different diary, and I'm kind of, like, all over the place. But we only read 5 days last time, because it was for both of them, so March 1st through March 5th. The time before, they had gotten into an argument, so that was, like, a big deal, but they seemed to be over it. Ralph, I think, was sick, or both of them, or maybe just her. She had a sore throat and a headache. Yeah, so she's not doing too hot. I guess we'll just keep going and see if it jogs our memory, but all of the diary entries are up on my website if you do want to actually read through them. It was only 5 days that we did last time. I don't know, we must have been talking about a lot of other stuff too then. Alright, and you know what? Sorry for the long, painful introduction, but I'm going to also set a time for next week for our live. I always forget to do it on the actual TikTok app. So, live events. Next Thursday. What's the date next Thursday? 27th. A lot of people have been saying they have to put it in their own calendar for it to actually tell them that I'm going live, but thanks, Erica, for the follow. I'm glad you're enjoying this, like, nonsense at the beginning, but we will get to the actual diary reading soon. Yeah, I posted another live, like, recording to my YouTube today. I was catching up, so I should be all caught up now, because I've uploaded all the ones that I had to download, and then automatically YouTube uploaded last week's and the week before, because I was streaming to YouTube, but I guess now I'm gonna have to download because YouTube is not working. But okay, event name, I never name it the exact same thing, but I never remember what I name it, that's why. Just do it quickly while I'm on live. Okay, June 27th at 6 p.m. Autocorrect. Help us read and research these diaries from 1903. Okay. So that is up there. If you like to register for the events, if it helps you, if it actually sends you a notification, great. It's on my TikTok page. But if you want a notification on Discord, I have a Discord link in my link tree that you can sign up for, so that works too. Other people just put it in their calendar because TikTok sometimes lets you know and sometimes doesn't. So, all right, let's get started. Sorry for the long to-do list in the beginning, but this is Georgia's diary, and then we'll switch over to Ralph. We've been going back and forth. So it's the same year. They're a couple. We think they're engaged at this point because we know that they get married in December of this year, so we'll get to actually see them get married. But they haven't specifically mentioned being engaged, so it's just an assumption. So got up at 6:45. Helped with breakfast and washed dishes. Hitched up and took the boys out to work over the river on Strawberry Ave. I wonder if we can find, don't we have an old map? Well, I guess it would be on a new map too. We could find Strawberry Avenue in Waterloo. Is it labeled? Oh, that'll take me forever to find it, but I'll look it up here. Strawberry Avenue. I don't even see a strawberry. Oh, no sound detected. Yeah, because I wasn't talking. I don't even see a Strawberry Avenue. Is that what she says? I think so. went after them. So she's probably talking about Ralph, and so Ralph is her fiance, we think, and his friend, who they've been doing work on the railroad on the weekends. So Ralph normally is in college, he's attending school, and on the weekends he does like side jobs, I guess. Went after them, and she has to cart them around. And that was what their fight was about. Thanks, Megan, for the follow. Their little tiff that they had a couple of weeks ago was about Georgia was supposed to pick them up at a certain place at a certain time, and she wasn't there, or she was there and they weren't, so she left, and then they got there and they had to stay overnight because she couldn't take them back. But we're all on Georgia's side. Went after them at noon and took them back. And after them at night. Helped with dinner dishes. Hey, Rachel. You were distracted. Thanks for reminding me about... Oh, nice. I should have sent one in the Diary Detectives chat, too. A reminder. Went to office. It's weird having it 2 days in a row for us. That's what it is. Feels like I had my live yesterday. Went to office in afternoon. Helped with supper and dishes. Never catch your life. So happy. Are Georgia and Ralph married yet? Hey, Cindy. And no, not yet. They get married in December of this diary, so we have a ways to go. Something to look forward to at the end. Went to office in afternoon. Wait, did I already do that line? Hold on. Yes, I must have. Went with dinner dishes. Went to office in afternoon. Helped with supper and dishes. Okay, it's just a similar sentence, that's why. Went downtown after supper. Went to bed at 11:15. Very nice day. Yeah, I was actually just saying, Cindy, I'm not even sure if they're technically engaged yet. Because they didn't, like, obviously we didn't read when they got engaged. And I don't know back then how long engagements usually were. So there is a chance that we might hear about that. But I'm not sure. We've just kind of been considering them engaged. Because we know that they get married, so. On the 7th for Ralph, he got up at, and this is a Saturday, so got up at 7. I'm gonna say that says 7. Do they talk about marrying at all or wedding? They do, yeah. We have a couple of newspaper articles about their wedding, but they also both mention it in the diary. And that's another, I was just talking about our, like, special Patreon meeting that we had yesterday. We have those, but another perk of that group is that they got to see that a little bit early. We actually, when we were ready to read these diaries, we looked, and just to see, because we found out they got married at this time, so just to see if they did and write an entry, and they did. So we got to read those a little early. Got up at 7, went to coffee? No. Office. To get notes. Georgia took Sam and I out to work. Made survey of I almost wrote Windsor, but I don't think it says Windsor. Something Park for Ned. Maybe you guys can chime in if you think you know. Windsor? Okay. W-I-N-D-S. I think maybe the O is smushed in or something. And, you know, we could look up, it's probably in Waterloo. Well, nothing that pops up right away, but that doesn't mean. You live in Windsor? Windsor where? Iowa? Canada, okay. I think it's W-I-N-D. Yeah, S-O-R. Well, there's a park named after your town. Okay, made a survey of Windsor Park for Ned. Ned Miller. 8 to 12. 8 to 12. 1, 6:30. I don't know what to do about that. I'm assuming he's saying like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then maybe I'm just going to say 6:30. I don't know what this is, the one that's happening there. 6:30, went downtown after supper with Georgia. And took bath. And went... Oh, I'll fix the text after too because you guys can't see everything. And went to bed at 11 o'clock. Alright, so while I'm fixing things, I'll show, for those of you who don't know, this is Ralph. We don't have a picture of Georgia yet, but this is the guy who wrote... Oh, I'll go back, Natty, thank you. This is the man who wrote this diary. We don't have a picture of Georgia yet, the woman who wrote the other one, his fiance. Okay, hold on, let me fix this. It was like cut off. Okay, I think that works. Okay, I'll go back. There's a Windsor Ridge Park in CR. Oh, in Cedar Rapids. The lingo. Windsor Ridge Park. Could be. Okay, and then I need to add an at in the first sentence. Got up, thank you. At 7. Oh, and it tells me here too. Perfect. Thank you, Valentina. I'll click on it. Oh, it only has 3 stars. I always find it funny when people rate natural attractions with stars, like on the app or the website All Trails, people will like rate the waterfall like, oh, it was only 2 stars. It's just funny to me, like a star scale for nature. Windsor Ridge Park. Yeah, I can see why it's only 3 stars. It's a cool bridge though. Wonder if Ralph was working on the bridge. All right, next day for Georgia, Sunday. This is when she usually hangs out with Ralph, so hopefully they get some time together. Here's an illustrator you follow that makes illustration of 1-star reviews. That's funny. Got up at 8:40. Helped wash breakfast dishes and do other work. Helped with dinner dishes. So George's family rents out part of their house, so they have boarders who live there. They have like 5 or 6 people who live there and pay them rent. And I'm pretty sure when she's talking about doing all these dishes and getting dinner ready and getting breakfast ready, it's for those people. Because she is an only child. She doesn't have, I think she's an only child. She doesn't have younger siblings or anything that she's making meals for, so I think it's them. Helped with dinner and dishes. And also dinner means lunch. Hitched up. R and I went driving. Got back in time to help get supper and do dishes. Oh, is that true? I forget. Where's her family tree? Am I going crazy? Hold on. I don't see the Slippy tree in here. I'll have to go after. getting mixed up. No, they did not have children, unfortunately, because it made it much harder to find any relatives. We did find some relatives of Georgia's, distant, like, obviously, because this is 1903, but also kind of like descendants of cousins, not her direct descendants. Erica, I don't know if you tagged me or someone else named Addie, but I'm not sure what you're tagging me for. If you sent a message, it didn't also pop up. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish this yet. Got back in time to help get supper and do dishes. Visited all evening. Fine day. Went to bed at 12. Ralph went away at 1:30. But as I was feeling so badly, I went to bed early instead of sitting up till he went. He takes the... No, you might not be getting mixed up, Nikki, but for some reason when I opened up the Ancestry, it didn't, I wonder if I have like a... I don't know why I don't have a shortcut to it anymore. I'll have to find it after. Just don't feel like figuring it out now. Ancestry's been weird for me lately. Like you saw, yesterday, things weren't loading and it was like unavailable. So I don't know if they're doing work on stuff or what. Okay. Ralph. Clear. Oh, and I was saying before, she usually stayed up until he took the train, which was at like 1:30 in the morning. But she's feeling sick. Got up at 7. Went to see... something depot. Why does it feel like it's always a different one? Because I can never read the abbreviation. There's CB&Q. There's it's C. Oh, Great CGW. There's Chicago and Northwestern, but it doesn't look like an NW. See, Chicago and I don't know. DM. It doesn't look like a D. I can never remember what he did. Like last time it was CR. It doesn't look like that anymore. CNG something. Is it CNGW Great Western? No. I guess there's a lot of different train lines over there. But as train was 1 hour late, it always seems to be, right? Decided not to go home. Oh, I wonder if maybe he was going to stop at his hometown first, so it might be a different railroad than we're used to seeing. Because usually he goes right back to where he's at school, Mount Vernon. Helped wash breakfast, dishes. I read... Oh, so he ended up... Oh, no, this is Sunday, not the next day, but... I read... Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I got very confused. It's Sunday, so he hasn't gone back to school yet. He was probably going to go visit at his house, so he was going to go on a different railroad to go to his hometown. And then he hasn't gone back to school yet. I just got confused. I read and talked to Georgia till noon. Washed dinner, dishes, and Georgia and I went driving. After supper, talked to Georgia. I'll fix that after, till 12, and laid down on sofa till train time. Okay, so now he's heading back to school. Thanks for sharing the live, Victoria. Okay. On the 9th. Georgia got up at 6:45, helped with breakfast dishes. Typical. Helped with work, mended, etc. Helped with dinner and dishes. I want to see how many times she said dishes so far. Went to office. Gertrude came and we walked over the river and back. Thanks for the follow, A. Dugan. Very new. Stumbled on your life from scrolling. What a cute, cool project. Thank you. It is fun and it's rewarding when we get to return them. We had a set of 3 diaries also from Iowa that were from a different family. We called them the Weatherman Diaries, and we actually got to return those to a descendant, so it's rewarding. Gertrude came and we walked over the river and back. Helped with supper and dishes. Worked on fancy work. So when she says fancy work, it's embroidery. She was making an embroidered pillow. Yeah, I know, Jim. I just heard from Jim recently. Worked. Still no picture. He hasn't found a picture yet. But worked on fancy work and played flinch a while, of course. Went to bed at 10. Cloudy day. I think he's good. He was asking me to resend a couple of files. So luckily I had them still. Actually, I should catch up with him because he was away for the winter and I think he's back home now, so I'll ask him to keep looking for the picture. All right, March 9th, clear. Oh, he had a lot to say here. Took C-R-I-N-P train to Cedar Rapids. 30 minutes late. Slept on train and in depot till 6. Was very lucky enough to get rocking chair in depot. Oh my god. This guy goes and visits his girlfriend or fiance maybe for the weekend and then goes back and sleeps in a chair in the train depot. That's how much he loves her. Every week, every Monday, he goes... Yeah, it is a messy entry for sure. He goes on the train at 1 a.m., sleeps a little bit on the train, and then sleeps in the train depot in a chair. And he's like, oh, I'm so lucky I got a rocking chair. Breakfast at Pullman, and then he goes to class all day. Cafe. Took 6:30 train to Mount Vernon. That's where his college is. Recited astronomy and descriptive geometry. Studied and went to chapel. I know. Yeah, can you blame him? He barely got any sleep. I was going to say he must be in a bad mood too. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nikki. I'm going to click on that. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe I accidentally, left the tree. But yeah, she did have a sister who died very young. That's sad. I remember that now. Ralph has a few siblings. Studied and went to chapel. Something, potassium, something in chemistry. Mixed. What did he do to it? I have no idea. Okay, well, blank. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. It seems like he wrote something and then changed it. It would be like some kind of mixture chemical. Potassium. Something. Okay, B something BICH. Bichromate. I'm gonna look it up. Potassium. Oh, is it bicarbonate? No. I think it's BICHRO. Dichromate. Potassium bichromate. Oh, okay. That's something. Yes, I can zoom in to this craziness. It would be like it almost looks like it says, oh, finished. Finished. I don't know what this is, but I think he originally said finished. In chemistry. Oh, of course he played flinch. After dinner, played game of flinch. With Ray Graves. Beat. Went to chemistry laboratory and to see Professor Williams. Okay, so sometimes he says started letter to Georgia, so maybe he started to write started, but it might be wrote, like he finished it. Wrote letter to Georgia and mailed it. And slept till supper time. Studied till 9 and went to bed, I'm assuming. So Gouda asked, what is flinch? Good question. Flinch is a card game. We have a picture of it. Hold on. In this Google slide that I have on my website if anyone wants to read. These are just like literally what I'm doing, but fully typed out, and I upload them here when it's finished, when we're done with it live. So this is the game Flinch. It's a card game. They're obsessed with it. Both Ralph and Georgia play it all the time with their friends. And then while we're on this page, actually, he was talking about Professor Williams. That's Professor Williams. And who else did we have? Ray Greaves. I don't know if we have a picture of him. We have Doc Greaves, who we talked about. I don't know if that's the same guy. Maybe I'll add that to our list, because we might have been trying to figure out who Doc Greaves was, and now we have Ray as a clue. Love card games. I'm like not a huge card game person, but I definitely want to try playing Flinch. All right, that was a long one. Yeah, did you find him? Yeah, go back. I'm not sure. I can also look on the Discord. I don't think we had Ray though on here. We've got Terrell Flinch. Is this linked to Terrell, or is he in here? That's Terrell. This is from, oh, I'm way back. Oh, okay, so keep looking then. Yeah, because I don't see much on Discord. It's so hard to keep, especially all these like little side characters. I can never keep them straight. But luckily we have those old yearbooks. So pretty much everyone who Ralph mentions, we find a picture of them. It's Georgia, who we don't have any pictures of, which is sad. We're all sad about that. All right, got up at 6:40. This is Georgia. Helped wash breakfast dishes. I feel like every single entry. Helped wash dishes. Went to the office. Helped wash dishes. Went to the post office. Went to office all day. went downtown twice and to P.O. Helped with dinner, dishes. Helped with supper and dishes. Worked on my fancy work a while. Played a short time. What do you think she played? And went to bed at 10. Foggy in morning and cloudy all day. Definitely she played flinch. Okay. Ralph's March 10th. I can't actually see what that says, so I'll open up the actual diary. This is, oh, it's Georgia's. They look exactly the same. Georgia, actually, this is very cute. She bought the diaries for herself and Ralph. They're the same exact diary. Because on January 1st, she mentions that she bought her own diary, and it's the same as Ralph's, so she definitely picked one up for him, too. Okay, rainy is what he said up there. Got up at 7. Studied till chapel. Finished potassium bichromate. Is it bichromate or bichromate? Okay. Okay, so I guess the day before when he crossed it out and wrote something else. So he finished it this day, but I don't think it really matters. Played flinch, of course. They're obsessed with flinch. And went to chem lab right after dinner to weigh my potassium bichromate. Studied till 4. Isn't that what they have chemical abbreviations for? Like, did he only start writing in diaries after meeting her? No. We read the first diary out of this series. We have 6 diaries in this group. Was hers in 1895. Then we read one in 1901 that was Ralph's before he knew her. So he did write, we don't have any like other than that before he met her, but he could have written many more, and these are just the ones that we happen to have. But he wrote in 1901, and then we have these 2 from 1903, and then the last 2 diaries, I think, are both his. So, like, 1904 and 1907, I think we have. Yeah, and the first one we read of his in 1901 was, like, a work diary. Like, he would write down what he did for the railroad that day, and he was very, very specific about his railroad business. So it might have even been, like, more just to keep track of what he did for his job. Maybe that's how he got paid or something from his, like, that's, like, his time card. I don't know. But there was a little bit of story in it. I know Rachel, literally, every entry looked like what Rachel just sent. It was just, like, to me, a bunch of nonsense. Obviously, it made sense to him, but a lot of angles, a lot of measurements, specific mile markers, but we got through it. This is more interesting. Like, he's definitely giving us a little bit more. He took a walk. Went over to something and got ready for supper. Took walk over to, why does it look like it says Justin? Lisbon. Thank you. And got ready for supper. Studied till 7:15. After game of flinch, of course. And went, what's the Greaves name? It was Ray, R-A-Y. And then before, it was Doc Greaves. Studied till 7:15 after game of flinch and went to collage of G, F, and A, M. After posting till 8. I don't know if that says posting, but took exam and had something back at 9 and worked on oration till 12. So what does that say? And had, he's the one you found. Okay, can you send him again? George Raymond Greaves. Okay. If you had a link, send it to me. I'll click on it again. Okay. What do we think that says, though? Okay. He took exam and had speed. Like he took the exam fast. Back at 9. And I already said this too, and I don't know what shend would be. I don't know what that means. Worked on oration till 12. She took exam and had she, I think it's a P, because if you look here too, well, I actually am not sure about this either, the posting word, but that looks like his P's. Is there another one? Supper. See the way he makes his P is strange. And had spend. Could be. Alright, we'll see what she did on the 11th. Maybe spend is something you eat. Yeah, it could be. Sometimes we encounter phrases that we just don't use nowadays, or, you know, I'm also not from this place where they are, so sometimes it's regional too. So sometimes I just don't know. Other times it's just reading it wrong and we figure it out later. All right, got up 6:45. Hey Deb, helped with breakfast dishes. Was at office all day. Helped with dinner dishes. Helped with supper and dishes. Cloudy and morning, but lovely in afternoon. After supper work. After supper work, I went down to Mabel's, and she was gone, then came home. Worked on my fancy work all evening. Went to bed at 11 o'clock. Lovely day to wash dishes. Yes, every single day. Mabel, I feel like we may have found a picture of her. Yes. So Mabel is one of George's friends. This is her, obviously, a lot later in life. They're only in their young 20s at this time, but that's her friend Mabel. Okay. Ralph's March 11th. Same day, different person. Clear. Got up at 7. Recited astronomy and descriptive geometry. Studied till chapel. It's funny, they both have very, like, their days are very routine, but in different ways. Like, she helps with the dishes, goes to the office, helps with the dishes, goes to the post office. It's, like, always the same thing, and then he always has the same schedule of different labs and classes, and he always goes to chapel at noon for his school. Like, it's like a, must be required. Received a letter from Georgia. And he always writes. Yeah, she doesn't mention chapel or church. Sometimes she mentions going to church, but rarely. And I was just about to say, he also always mentions when he gets a letter from her or when he writes a letter to her, but she never really mentions it from him either. Like, she never mentions it from him. Like, she won't say, oh, Ralph wrote me a letter, or I wrote a letter to Ralph. It's just, like, not part of her diary entries. Received a letter from Georgia. Went to chapel and chem lab. Studied in... Yeah, she only mentions church very rarely. And she used to mention it in the 1895 diary that we read of hers. She would go visit her Uncle Dan in a town over from hers. Like, on the weekends she used to go there, and she used to go to church with them and with her grandfather. But I haven't heard anything recently about going to church, except for a couple of funerals. Okay. Went to chapel in chem lab. Studied in PM till 2. And wrote letter to Georgia. And went down to mail it. Studied till supper time. After supper, played 2 games of flinch and studied and studied. Bill Filson visited me about an hour. Or Bill Fellum? I don't know. Filling? Possibly. Definitely see an F. Felder? Could be. Yeah, I do see maybe an ER. I think it's an M at the end. Felom. Fill-in. F. Wonder if he's a student, or he might not be, but Bill Filson visited me about an hour. Studied, could be Filon. Studied and worked on oration till 11:30. Went to bed. We'll put him on the list. Bill. We're making headway today. All right. 12th. Felton. Bill. Yes, and that's true, actually. Good point, Rachel. When we do our research on him, his name's probably William. Good call. Okay, got up at 6:55. Helped wash breakfast dishes. Helped with the washing, then got ready and went to the office. Was at office all day. Hitched up when I got home. took Mama and we went over to McShane's. She mentioned McShane's in the McChain's in the last week that we read. Went over to McShane's to see Mrs. Morin. Oh, I think last time we couldn't read that name. Oh, to see how Mrs. Morin was. But I think we, I think I wrote Mrs. Morium. Which it still could be that. M-O-R-I-U. I don't see Morium anymore, though. I see more M-O-R-R-I. I don't know, maybe not. But I didn't find her, so that's another clue. Office it is. Did I get it wrong? Hold on. Got up at 6:55, helped wash breakfast dishes, helped with the washing, then got ready and went to the office. Was at office all day. Oh, do we know whose office it is? I think it's her dad's, but I'm not sure. But I think she was working for her dad, like bringing him places, secretarial work, things like that. The engineering office. Where's the picture I have of her dad? Well, this is him. Her father. And Ralph worked with her dad at some point. I don't know if he's working with him yet. It seems like that's actually how he and Georgia met, I think, but obviously Ralph is at school right now, so I don't know. Okay, helped with supper and dishes. Played Flint. She also, even in the 1895 diary, she was talking about like taking her dad around for different work things. Hitched up is get the horse ready on the carriage. So she would like actually bring her dad around to do his engineering work. He was the city engineer, so. And she does the same thing for Ralph. She brings him around too. Helped with supper and dishes, played flinch all evening, went to bed at 10. Thanks, Veronica. Yeah, it's a fun project. We've done a few like it, so eventually, you know, it takes forever, but we do make our way through diaries and we figure out like all about who wrote them and we try to find their family and return them if we can, so we've had a few successful projects so far. Clear got up at 6:30, and usually we're reading through one diary at a time, but this one is unique because it's a man and a woman who are not married yet. They're going to be married soon. So it's the same year. It's both of their perspectives. So we decided to read them simultaneously. So that's why like there's a lot going on in this reading where it's a lot of jumping back and forth, but I think it's worth it. It's a little bit more difficult to follow, I think, than when we just read one person, but we do have a picture. This is Ralph. So this is the one that's up right now. This diary is written by Ralph. But we don't have a picture of Georgia yet. We're still looking. I got up at 6:30, went to astronomy, and studied till 9. Went up to see Professor Williams and studied. I'm glad you're here. I actually come on every Thursday, so if you want to see the story unfold, come back every Thursday. Studied till chapel. Went to chapel and chemistry till noon. Played flinch, of course, till 1. And took exam in sanitary engineering. So instead of cramming before his exam, he's playing a card game. Oral. Went to chemistry lab and worked till 3. Studied till 5 and went downtown. Played flinch again. After supper till 7. Took walk around. Is this what he said this again before? Did we figure out, did it say something other than around the world, or did we just keep it? Because again, I think it looks like he says around the world. And studied till 11:30. I can't remember though if we, I don't know, if we ended up saying it was something else. Too bad. But he said the same thing, like about a week ago in the diary. And now I have that song stuck in my head. Around the world, around the world. Oh no, it's Friday the 13th. I wonder if they'll be unlucky. Got up at 6:50. Ironed, swept, dusted, and done other work. Mama up to grandma's all day. Is what slang for something? Oh, walking around the world? Or do you mean hitched up? Hitched up is hitching up the horse. So she hitches up the wagon or like the cart or whatever she's in. And oh yeah, walking around the world. Yeah, I guess maybe he's just saying like took a walk around the world, like around obviously campus or town, but I don't know. He said it twice now, so maybe he's trying to let it catch on. Hey Lex, if you remember when the last time you were here is, I can try to give you an update. This diary has been, we're reading 2 at the same time, so it has been going a little slower, which is good. Like if you miss a week, you don't actually miss that many days, but, and it hasn't been too eventful. There have been a couple family deaths though. I don't know if you were around in the 1895 diary, but poor old Uncle Dan, where is he? Uncle Dan died. He was the one that she went to visit a lot in 1895. And obviously before that, but we only knew her in 1895. And there's her aunt. Her aunt's still around. Okay. So, I was going to say, I wonder if her mom is still sick, because it seems like she's doing a lot more of the work, but I guess she's just visiting the grandma, so that's why she's doing more. I was last here when you were finishing up Ralph's solo diary. Yeah, well, so his diary ended kind of early, because I don't remember what month he stopped writing in, but he didn't write the whole entire year. But this one, we've been working on this for like, I think 6 or 7, maybe this might be the 8th week. So, lots less progress with this one, because it just takes longer. But I think it's worth it to read both at the same time. So, I mean, you maybe missed a lot of lives, but you didn't miss a lot of, like, content. And they aren't married yet, so stick around. They'll be married in December of this 1903 diary. All right, Mama up to Grandma's all day. Got dinner and washed dishes. And I get that a lot where people say they haven't caught the live in a long time, so if you do want to be here and it's, like, not giving you notifications, try to sign up, because it won't just tell you when I'm live. Even if you sign up for notifications on my page for like, oh, let me know when this person goes live, it won't do it consistently. So if you go to my TikTok page, there's a place where it says live event, and it says, right now it says today at 6 p.m., but if you click on it, you should be able to see next week's planned live, which is the 27th. I hope that it's up there, because I don't see it when I click on it, but you can register there. There's like a 75% chance it will actually give you a notification. A lot of people put it in their calendars or join the Discord. There's a free Discord that you can join on my link tree, and that I do send notifications there too. You did that and it notified you tonight at 6 p.m. Good. yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I always feel really bad when people come in halfway through and they're like, man, it didn't tell me. So I don't really know what the solution is. I did look into doing a like a text alert, but that's really complicated. And I don't want to like I don't want to be in charge of people's phone numbers. Like I don't want people to give me their phone numbers or anything. So it just didn't seem like an easy way to do it other than the Discord, because that's easier for me to just send out something and people can join in if they want to or not. But it's been pretty consistently now Thursday at 6 p.m. and I'm going to keep it that way through at least the summer and probably into the fall too, because I don't have any more classes after summer that I have to work around. That's usually the reason why I have to change the day, is because I have a different class and it's a different day of the week, you know. All right, got dinner and washed dishes, but I will be getting my master's at the end of the summer. So the Patreon, are you talking about the video chat? So the Patreon group has a separate like perk. We do these lives every week and that's for everybody, but the Patreon group gets a monthly video meeting. So it's like, it's not just a live, it's like an actual video chat, like everyone comes on together. And we do basically the same thing, but with a different diary. So it's not every week, but it's every month. We pick a day. So on the Diary Detectives Discord, when you join the Patreon, you get like access to a special chat room. And I usually send out like dates that work for me, and then they vote on them and we pick a good day for everybody. And it is monthly, but it feels like, I don't know, it simultaneously feels like it's pretty often, but then also feels like it's been forever every time we get on. So I don't know. It's possible that after I finish my master's degree, which will be in the fall, I could do more of those. Like we could up it to a couple times a month if we want to, or have like maybe one main Diary Detective meeting and then a couple of like extra things that people can pop into. But right now I just like, that's too much. So it is fun. I know it's so much fun to have you guys on there and able to like the chat is nice, but it's nice to actually get to talk to each other and see each other. I really, really enjoy those. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, Cindy. It's a different night each month. I work 3 nights until 7. So it is, I think, yeah, I don't know if it always shakes out to be the same day or not. It's different every time. And what we do is I send out a survey on the Discord channel, and I will get to your, Grace, and I'll get to that question in a second because I know what's wrong. I send out a link to all of the Patreon subscribers and they vote for days. So I'll put like every day that works for me in a 2-week slot time period or whatever, and then whatever days work for you, you check them off, and I go with whatever day like most people it works for. But I'm trying to be, I mean, I hope that the Diary Detectives can vouch for me. I've tried to like make sure everyone who wants to be there can be there. And it sometimes like we'll make it a little earlier or a little later depending on what works, because we're from all different places in the world. So I do try to like accommodate for, if people have days that do not work, I try not to do those days. But yeah, it's fun. And then Grayson, the comment about the Discord link. So from TikTok, it's really strange, but if you click on the Discord link from the TikTok link tree, it's not going to work. I think it's something to do with TikTok, like blocking it. It doesn't want you to go there. I don't know why. But if you go to my, if you're on Instagram, if you go to my Instagram and then you click on the link tree from there, it should work. Or if you go to my website, which is www.thingslostandfound.com. You have to put the www. But if you go there, if you click on here, this is the Discord link and that should work. I don't know why, it's really frustrating, but every time I've tried to like re-upload that link, it always says it's expired, but it's not supposed to expire. So you should be able to get there from here. What we were just talking about though, it can get kind of confusing. The Discord here is the free one. That's just like for me to send you guys updates and reminders. The Patreon Discord is like it's almost like an extension of the free one. So that's where you would get that, is the Patreon link. But this one should take you to join the announcements one. Sorry, I wish it was easier. But TikTok, for some reason, every time it just like cancels out that link. All right, got dinner and washed dishes, mended. and lots of little things. Went to Depot to meet Ralph as he came up to spend Sunday. You're welcome, Grayson. Coming back, met Papa. As they rode up to the house as he had the horse. Went up after Mama. Helped with supper and dishes. Went up to Grandma's. A while. After supper. Oh. Went up to Grandma's a while after supper and played dominoes. That's a new game. Dominoes. Got back at 9:40. Maybe Grandma's not cool enough to play flinch. Took a walk before. Went to bed at 10:30. All right. So her Friday the 13th didn't seem so bad. Now let's see about Ralph's. Clear. Went to astronomy and studied till chapel. Went to chapel. And chemistry. Got ready and went to Waterloo on 1:52, 7:52 train. She doesn't even mention Ralph at all. That's weird. Oh no, she did. I just was zoned out. Okay, she did. I don't know what time though. If that's a 7 or a 1. I feel like it's a 7. Played flinch with Georgia in the evening. Okay. 14th. Oh, a lot of you have been here for a long time, so you'll know what I'm talking about. But I have now been in my new house for a year. It was about 5 days ago we hit a year. And we've been starting some more house projects. That's why I thought of it. I was just painting all day with Ian. We had one room left that we hadn't... Well, we have a few rooms left, including down here. This horrible orange color was not our choice. But this is just the basement, so this is our extra room. Thank you. Hi, Valentina. Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been. I started doing this before we even started looking for houses, too. So we've been doing this for a while, and I know a lot of you have been here since, the beginning. You were trying to figure out the groove situation. You were over there doing your diligent research. Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe it's been a year. And we were looking back at, all the things we've done, and I made a little photo album for Christmas last year that I'm going to add to now. But we put all of the pictures of, the before and, so of the living room, the picture of what it looked like when we moved in versus now, and it's changed a lot. You don't realize, because we do it, little by little, And it feels like it doesn't change much, but it did. And now we're doing a little, it's our, guest room, but we obviously don't have kids or anything, or we don't really need a guest room, so, well, it's a second bedroom. It's not a guest room. But we're doing, big bookshelves, and finally we'll have a place to put our books instead of on the floor down here in boxes. But it's exciting. Thanks, Valentina. Yeah, we built a garden, too. I'm very proud of that. Where does Ralph stay when he comes for the weekends? Good question. I think he stays in the, like, rented side of the house, like where the boarders stay. I do think in the beginning of the diary, Ralph was talking about paying rent to the Newtons, so I think he was actually working for Mr. Newton, who is Georgia's father, and I think he was staying at their house, like in the other side of their house that they rent out, or another, I don't know if it's the other side of the house or another building or what, but they definitely have boarders who live there. Hoping you share, oh yeah, I'll try to share pictures of the vegetables. Hopefully they do grow, but they seem to be doing all right now. It is really hot right now, though, and I'm worried about them frying. Hitched up and took the boys out to work. Yeah, no, they definitely wouldn't sleep in the same part of the house. Not in 1903. That would be scandalous. Went down for Andy. And then over the river to Strawberry Ave. Again, Strawberry. Went to the office. Helped wash dinner dishes. And then went to office again. Ralph went home at 5. Went downtown before supper, and after I went down for meat. Helped with supper and dishes. Hello. Anything juicy? I don't know. Anything juicy? Played a lot of flinch, of course. A lot of dishes, a lot of studying. Not really anything juicy, I don't think, today. Not yet. We've read through a lot, though, because we left off, we started on the 7th, we're already on the 14th. I'll probably do a few more days. But much more than last time. Last time we got through, like, only about 5 days. Oh, yeah, she played dominoes instead of flinch with her grandma. All right, help with supper and dishes. Mama and I played flinch. Oh, she played flinch with her mom. All evening. It's so funny. Went to bed at 11. Cloudy day. So she's getting her mom into it now. She caught the flinch bug. It's so funny how often they play it. It's like every single day. All right. Clear. Finished survey for something park. What was the park he did before? Claude's up on his big cat tree. Oh, hold on. I bet you guys could see it if I moved Ian's chair. Oh, you can hardly see it. I'll move the whole chair. I don't know if you can see him up there. Oh, the pole is blocking him. But Claude is up in that little window next to the door. Sorry for my messy basement. But maybe he'll come down. Oh no, you can see him. You can't see my mouse though. He's like almost all the way up to the door. He's on a little platform. Almost all the way up to the window, I mean. Hi, Claude. Ian made them a beautiful big cat tree out of real branches. They're so spoiled. They broke it recently, actually, because they're getting a little large. And Ian had to fix it. Windsor. Okay, thank you. That's definitely Windsor. Claude, what a cute name for a cat. Your dog's name is Dylan. I love it. I love people names for animals. Finished survey for Windsor Park in AM with Andy. Oh, Andy. Oh, he gave us a last name. A hard last name. Oh my god, what does that say? Gullickstead? I do not know. Grill, gull, gill. Yeah, I know. What does that say? I don't know. Yeah, that's Claude. He's the fluffy cat. Oh, is he doing a big stretch? He's so cute that he's going up there because it's nice and warm in the window now. They didn't go up in the winter too much. And we have his sister Basil. We have both of them. Oh, he's going up in it. So we have a little bed up there. And he's like, wow, he's like advertising Ian's cat tree skills. There's a little tiny pillow up there that they lay on. And they get to look outside. We're also thinking, because that's like level with the ground outside, eventually we might make it so that they can exit the window and have like a catio. Like a patio. You can see him properly. He's so cute. All right, any ideas for this name? G R G. Yeah, that's what they call it, a catio. LLI. I'm gonna say that. I don't think that's totally right, but I don't know. That's a really tough one. You think it's GRIL? It could be. Could be Grillikstad. Crazy name. Gillickstad. Good for the cats. And yeah, because it would be like fenced in. So they wouldn't be able to get at the birds. I had outdoor cats growing up, and they do so much damage. Surveyed lot for Wilbros in PM. And honestly, I don't think these cats even want to go outside. They had such a terrible situation. I'm always thinking about birds. I know. It's just awful. Cats just kill birds for no reason. That's one big problem. These cats, when we got them, they were like severely injured because they were attacked by something, so they're pretty messed up, and I don't think they would do well outside. Basil, the other cat, has more instincts. Like, she'll go after things and chase, and Claude just kind of doesn't want anything to do with it. I don't think he would last very long out there. I know, they were really hurt. It turned out it was like this big thing. Because when we got them, we knew that they were super shy. Like, they told us they were under-socialized. The shelter messed up. And it was supposed to be, like, a very reputable shelter. So we were very surprised by this. But, like, they mixed up paperwork and... Long story short, they sent us home with cats who were supposed to be under rabies quarantine. Which is, like, a huge... It was so bad. Like, they almost ended up, like, a month later when they all found out that this happened. We didn't even know. They almost took the cats back. Like, it was a big fiasco. They were fine. And there was, like, a very slim chance that they would have even had rabies, but they had to be under quarantine because when they took them into the shelter, they had wounds on their necks, actually, because they were attacked by something, but they didn't know by what. So they couldn't be sure that whatever got them didn't have rabies. And if whatever attacked them did have rabies, then they would contract it, but... They're all well past that time now, like, they're fine, but it was a stressful time. Yeah, and it was all because they just messed up, and the person who adopted them out to us, I guess, like, the manager, the person in charge, wasn't there that day, so whoever was helping us must have been new or a volunteer or something, and, like, missed the big red flag that's supposed to say, don't adopt these cats out, but... It's fine. It all worked out, but it was so stressful at the time. Yeah, it could have been a raccoon. It could have been anything. They were in a cat colony in the woods when they found them. Well, actually, someone had found them and then had them in their house for a little while, like a foster situation, like a what would they call it? Unsupervised foster situation. Like, someone found them and just took them in for a couple weeks, but then I think they realized they were really injured. And they couldn't handle it, so they brought him in. But yeah, little brother and sister. They were hippie cats. Yeah, they lived on a commune. Oh, yeah, so they're a little bit, like, just a little bit messed up, you know? When we first got them, they were super, super, super shy, scared. Now they come to us and they, like, love us, but anyone else who comes in the house, they hide. Squatter cats, literally, I know. And they're like, they have weird habits, like, and they go through weird phases. Like, when we first brought them home, it was so sad because they were tiny and they were like ravenous. Like, they wanted to eat everything and anything, and they did. And we had a bit of a problem because they ate like part of a toy that was made of foam. It was another fiasco. We had a lot of those in the beginning, fiascos. But they've been good. They haven't been like chewing anything now. I think now because they realize that they get food every day, like they're good. Yeah, Valentina, you guys remember that? It was like one thing after the other. Yeah, and it was actually, I had to cancel coming on here one time because Basil ate the toy. It was the handle on a toy. Like, it was this little fishing rod toy that you dangle the thing. It's shaped like a fishing rod and you can reel it in. It was a cute thing, right? But the little part that the human puts their hand on, it's like foam, and she ate it. And Claude ate some too, but he was fine. But she ate so much of it that it was like in her stomach and it wouldn't go anywhere because it was like an obstruction. She was fine. She ended up being okay, obviously, but it was like, this cat, we just got her a month ago, and now we have to give her surgery maybe, but she didn't need surgery. It was fine. It was just like one thing after the other. Knock on wood, we've been good. All right, went to office at 3 and worked till 4 p.m. Thanks, Jen. You know, it's like crazy how many things. And it was after the foam incident, that's when the rabies thing happened. Because the rabies thing was going on, but we didn't know until the vet saw it in the paperwork. And then the vet had to report it. And it was like, you'd think we got these cats from like some random person. And we didn't. Like, we went to a reputable shelter because we wanted to avoid all that. Like, we wanted them to already be neutered and spayed and everything. And we wanted them to be like from somewhere that we trust. But, you know, things happen everywhere. All right, so worked till 4 on something plot that he crossed out. So, what? Worked on the plot of Windsor Park till 5. Oh, socks. Oh my god. Yeah, most of the time, if it's something like, I mean, socks, I don't know, because that's like big, unless she rips it apart. Certain things animals can eat and they are, you know, like good, it passes, whatever. But this foam, what happened was it kind of like, when she ate it, it like expanded after. And they couldn't really tell. It wasn't as bad as they thought, thank God. But when they did the x-ray, it was like, it looked like just a big clot. You could see it in her stomach, like this big chunk of foam. So I actually don't think, I said it expanded. I don't think it did as much as they, like, that's what they were concerned about. So they actually did like a little bit of a test with it. They had like the extra that was still on the toy. We brought the toy in and they did it like an experiment to see if they put it in water, would it get bigger? And I don't think it did, actually. So that's what saved her. Because if it had expanded a lot, which foam sometimes does, you know, then it would feel like filling her whole stomach. She chews. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's something that the vet had told us. Because we were obviously worried. We're like, is she going to do this more? Like, does our cat have pica? And she said that some cats who go through trauma, like ours did, do develop pica. But like I said, I shouldn't say it because I don't want to like jinx myself, but she hasn't done it again. And we've been careful now. Like they started chewing wires a little bit, like cords, and we spray them with stuff. So they stopped that. But that was like, they were teething at the time, so I think that's part of it. I don't know. And yes, someone said I hope they apologize. Yes, they did, and they did get in trouble. Because we didn't even report it. It was the vet who did it. So like the whole health department or whatever. Because there was another layer to it where that was the shelter is in Rhode Island. We're on the Rhode Island border. So we're in Massachusetts. Their shelter's in Rhode Island. And not only when you adopt out animals with rabies quarantine restrictions, you have to like really make sure the person is like on board. They have to sign all these things and agree to all these things. But it's also illegal to adopt an animal with rabies quarantine restrictions from like over state lines. So that was like another layer to it. It wasn't only that they adopted them out without telling us they might have rabies, but it was also, yeah, it is dangerous. I know. And if we had other animals, like it would have been way more, or kids, it would have been way more of an issue. But luckily they did let us just like agree to all of the things we had to do, which was basically like they couldn't come in contact with other people. And luckily these cats, despite everything they've been through, like you'd think they'd be like, they were very scared, so you'd think they'd be like scratching and biting if you tried to pick them up. They have not scratched or bitten out of like anger once. So one time I got scratched by Claude because he was jumping and he just like hit me. But like he wasn't like trying to scratch me, you know? So I have to say, like, they're the best cats I've ever had with that. Like, they never swat. They're just very sweet. And was there more? No, they were, I don't know if they had any siblings. That's a good question. They were together. Claude and Basil were together, and they were like a bonded pair, so you had to adopt both of them. And they didn't say whether they had other siblings of theirs that they adopted out. They didn't at the time, but I don't know. Maybe they did. I think it was just them two. Tooksy NGW train. I did try to go back on their website and like look for them, but they get rid of the pictures after the animals are adopted. They don't have like a archive. I wish I had it because I just liked the picture too. They were so cute. I have a picture of when we first like saw them. I'll do one more day. March 15th. Yes, thank you. We are fortunate too. All that trouble, but it was worth it. They're the best cats. I wish that they were less afraid of other people, but what can you do? They love us, so that's what matters. Help wash breakfast dishes. They are very sweet. Red papers, cloudy day. Ralph used to work at a vet office. First week, a cat bit me. Then the vet was like, oh, they might have rabies. Oh, no. By the way, did you have to get a shot? Or multiple shots? Yes, exactly. Introverts. I was like, excuse me? Excuse me, what? Yeah. Ian, this is another funny story. Luckily, when we found out that the cats might have rabies, Ian was all set because Ian's been vaccinated. Because it's been a couple of years now. A couple of years ago, we were going back to Ian's house after a party or something. We went to like a family thing. We came home and it was like probably 9 o'clock, so it was dark. And he went to open the front door and there was like a decorative wreath on the door. And something flew out. It was dark, so we didn't see what it was. But something flew out of the wreath and hit him in the face. And it was like, he said it was like a bird. Like, it felt like a bird hit him in the face. So we were, like, thinking, and we're like, what the heck was it? And the thought crossed our mind that it could have been a bat because it was nighttime and we didn't see it, you know? So, yeah, it could have been a bird, but we didn't know. And rabies is like, Corinne will know this. Rabies is like super serious if you get it. So you don't, hold on, let me think like how to explain it. So if you get rabies, if you contract it and you start to show symptoms, it's like a 100% chance that you'll die. So you have to get vaccinated before you show symptoms. So even if you get exposed, yeah, Corinne will know this. If you get like scratched by a bat, or because the bat may have touched his face, like he called the health department and they were like, you have to go get a vaccination, like just in case you do, because there was no way to confirm that it wasn't a bat. So if you ever like wake up and there's a bat in your house, you have to go get rabies vaccinations, because if that bat bit you, which sometimes you don't even feel it, Like, most of the time, you don't even know. You, like, not that you will get rabies, because it might not have it, but you have to either be able to, like, trap the bat and get it tested, and if it doesn't have rabies, great, you're good. Or you have to just, if you can't trap the bat, you have to get vaccinated. So basically, he had to go get, it was awful. Because he was, like, walking in the house saying, oh, I'm so excited to go to bed. He had to go to work the next day. He's like, I'm so tired. And then, oh, no, we got to turn around and go to the hospital. And because it wasn't, like, super urgent, we waited for, like, 4 hours in the ER for him to get his rabies shots. He had to get, I don't know how many. I know how many that night. He got 4 at the hospital. Like, he had to get 2, 1 in each arm and 1 in each leg. Maybe something else too. I don't remember if there was another shot. But then he had to go back, like, I think like 3 more times or something. I'll have to ask him. If he comes home, I'll ask him. But it was not a good time. Paul excitedly tried to tell me to go and see bats today. Yeah. Those are probably fine because they're outside and they're... Oh, yeah. It was like 4 giant shots too. It was... I was not... Like, watching it made me... Ooh. Poor Ian. He was a trooper, though. It was more annoying than anything, because it's like, the chance that you actually have rabies is so low, but if you have it and you didn't get the vaccination, like, you actually, it's just like 100% death. Oh. And we asked the doctor, we're like, so why doesn't everyone just get vaccinated? And he's like, well, because it's like really expensive to get vaccinated for rabies, and the chance of you encountering an animal with rabies is so low that it's just like, oh, if you get bit by something wild, you just get vaccinated instead of like everyone getting vaccinated like animals do, you know. But that's different. Yeah, I can't watch either. I can't do that. I don't think I watched, but I just held his hand. All right, Ralph came, oh, I'm missing. Ralph came back at noon. Helped with dinner, and when done eating, went up to Grandpa's and got his team. I was just thinking, I wish I had it easily to show you guys, but I made him a card when he finished his rabies course, which I think it was like, I think it was like over 10 days. He had to go back a bunch. Oh, you had a rabies shot recently. It was a routine vaccination. It was just 1 shot, and you're in Germany. Yeah, maybe they do it in different countries. They do prophylactic rabies. If you are prepared, you can go do whatever you want now in the woods. What was I going to say? Oh, I made Ian a card, and it was shaped like a bat. And the bat had its wings closed, and you opened up the wings, and it says, what did it say? I don't remember what it said. It was something like a pun about rabies. Or like something about you filthy animal or something. And then I gave him one of my cats growing up. I found one of their old little rabies tags that you get when you give your cat rabies shots. So I gave it to him, and it's on his keychain. All right, went up to Grandpa's. Got his team. And R and I, so that's Ralph, and I went and took some things in the country for Uncle and Sam. Roads just awful. Got back at 10:15. Took the team home and talked a little, and came home. Went to bed at 12 o'clock. Ralph stayed, and yes, that's how she... Oh, his train. Sorry, thank you. She did say team, though. Got his team, right? Yeah. Yeah, his team of horses. Ralph and I went and took some things in the country. Got back. No, I think it is team. Or, I don't know, maybe it is train. It's definitely team up here. No, that's okay. That's okay. It does kind of look like it could be either, but I think it is team because he has a team of horses. But they do take the train a lot, so don't feel bad because it does, honestly, it could be Train easily. But I think it is team here. Ralph stayed over so as to do some work for Papa as he was going to Chicago. So her dad, Martin, is an engineer, and Ralph is an engineer, so he's doing some work for her dad. All right, this will be the last one we read today. It does look like both at the same time. Cloudy. Got up at 7. Talked with folks till 11. Till 11 something. Train. Okay, let's see. March 15th. Oh, that's May. $11:29, it looks like. So specific. Train on CNGW and went to Waterloo. I guess that's the end of the sentence. After dinner, Georgia and I drove to Berry Farm. That is her grandfather's farm because he's Grandpa Berry. Rested an hour and drove back. Had Mr. Berry's team and got back at 10:30. Roads very bad, but had a good time otherwise. Talked with Mr. Newton and went to bed at 12. On Saturday, she said Ralph went home at 5, so there must be somewhere he stays when he visits. Yes, or he could have gone, he went to Rhinebeck. So Rhinebeck is where he grew up. And yeah, I wonder, maybe he goes to Rhinebeck every time to stay. I can't think back if it's every time or not, but. Oh, maybe. Penny, I was wondering what you were getting at, but I wonder if he talked with Mr. Newton and asked if he could marry Georgia. We'll have to see. I have no idea in 1903 what the average length of an engagement was. I feel like it was less time than it usually is now. Like nowadays it's, oh, Ian just texted me. Nowadays it's like usually over a year. Yeah, tune in next week to see what he was talking about. Yeah, no promises. We might never find out, but actually, are you home? Come here. I want to ask him about the rabies. Oh, he's not home. How many shots did you get for rabies? He was at the gym and now he's going to get like groceries. Oh, Bridgerton. I'm watching Bridgerton again. Or like in Bridgerton, if you just look at an unmarried woman you ought to be engaged. Yes, very true. What a scandal. He said 8 total if you count immunoglobulins, which is like a different shot. Okay, interesting. On the first day? Or total? He kept having to go back. Like, he got a bunch on the first day, and then he had to go back, like, 3 more times throughout the next 10 days or something. Oh, my God. But, yeah, I'm watching Bridgerton. I'm watching the first season again. I was going to just watch the new season, but I was like, you know what? I need something to watch, like, on my own. When Ian goes to bed early, I'm like, what am I going to do? So, and I forgot how good it is. I remember, like, I watched it a while ago. I wasn't as big of a fan of the second season. Did you watch the last season, anybody? I really liked the first one. I remember the second one, I was like, it was okay. Things but better than getting rabies. You binged Bridgerton, yeah. How was the third season? Because I'm probably going to rewatch just first and second and then just watch the third. You finished it last week. Nice. What's the spinoff? Yes, the spinoff is the Queen, right? And I've heard that is good. You haven't watched any of it? You'll have to watch it. I like it because of the costumes. I think the costumes are beautiful. Apparently they cut a lot of scenes that Penelope and Colin did. Oh, interesting. Yes, Queen Charlotte. I've heard that is very good. Oh, okay. Oh, so they changed someone who's, like, in production. I've seen mixed reviews about the third season. Like, I noticed a lot of people were, like, very into it when it first, like, they were talking about it a lot, but yeah, and more recently I've been seeing, like, criticism about it. Can't get into it. You wish you could. You're a huge Downton Abbey fan. Seems like in 1815 they get married within, like, 2 to 3 weeks of proposal. Yeah. Unless there's a scandal and then they get married the week after. Yeah, it's just so pretty to look at all the costumes and, like, just the sets and stuff. I love it. All right. So I guess we'll leave off at March 15th. Next week on the 27th, the way I said that, like, next week on Antique Diary reading. On the 27th, Thursday, I'll start off at March 16th and we'll just keep going. So, it's good to see you all. Love instrumental music. Oh yeah, the music in Bridgerton. I remember how thrown off I was in the first time I watched it. When they went to the ball and what was playing, like, Thank You Next or something, like a quartet version, and I was like, what? It's so cool. It's cool that they did that. Like, they put music that you'd hear at the club now at the ball then. So, all right. Yeah, it was good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. Oh, you're welcome, Deb. Thanks, Rachel. Bye, Corinne. Diary Detective people, I'll see you on the Discord, but everyone else, I'll see you next week. We'll pick up where we left off. Have a good night. Say bye to Claude. He's up there.